Back to Contemporary Black Voices here at Black Video Network. And before we get started, let's pay respect to our producer, Kyle Booker.
Yes.
None of this would be possible without Kyle Booker. He dictates a little, but we can take it. We can handle it. We love him. Okay, so let's get back to our topic here. And Dale, you were talking about the or the libraries in your inner city. And
Yeah,
I think Sharon had brought up the point of
how
what has
gentrifying
did. So you want to pick up with your point, Dale?
yeah. Along with the gentrification issues that we're facing, as long as your information professional, your librarian, is watching what is going on around the community, you can head off a lot of things that would take away from your legacy and your heritage. Or the demise of that. You just have to plan for it. You might be certain there might be a cultural shift, as we talked about. Okay, so maybe that does happen, but we're not going to stop trying to promote the legacy, the foundation, how we got started. We're not going to stop doing that. If everybody moved out of the community and we were replaced, so to speak, there would still be that need to maintain that legacy. And we will do that. We owe that.
Yeah, it has to be through our libraries.
It has to be, the libraries have to do that, because one thing about it, you can't ignore what came first. And so we're all about documenting and honoring that. And we do face a lot of challenges. We were talking about the banning of books and people demanding that books be removed from the library. Well, there's a process for that. The community can raise that issue, but a responsible library system will say, okay, we'll listen to your demands, but one person, it cannot be one person deciding for everybody. That's not fair. Everybody has paid taxes, and see, you know, that's how we are supported through tax dollars. So one person cannot can make a choice for everybody else. We have to decide as a public and as a library system that this book is going to hurt the community, that this book is gonna, it's a challenge to humanity or something like that. You can't just say, I don't like that book, get it out of there. Is that fair? Yeah. Do I go in your house and tell you, take that book? No. In something that belongs to everybody, like a library, you cannot have one person going on telling you, or a few people telling you something. We have to decide as a library system and as a community what our values are. What's important to us?
Right. Yeah. And our hot topics will be on Moms for Liberty, but it's interesting that those folks going around telling people what they can read, and you haven't had that. You haven't had anybody. I would, frankly, if I'm wrong, have you had any black folks come in and say, "Deal, take that off the shelf"?
That has not happened.
That's not happening. So you know,
it has not happened.
The arrogance and nerve of these people.
And so, well, some people might get now. I know public libraries in the area have not had that issue, but I know the schools in the area have had that issue, and it would be interesting if you got a librarian in and from the school system and talk to you about some of the challenges that they have faced. It would be interesting.
Had it.
No, because there's a process that you can discuss a book. You can, and because it's you know, because of the way we did things, democracy. We would say everybody's opinion counts. So we would listen. Okay, what did you find objectionable about this title? Well, let's discuss it. And so that's where it would start. But it's not, no, take that off and get rid of it because you don't like it.
Wait a minute, I have to share this real quick. When I was teaching, a mother complained about a book in the classroom, right? And she says it was some pornography. And so while the kids were out, I went to everybody's desk trying to find this book because I figured maybe the child, you know, was bringing some of daddy's stuff to school to show his friends, right? Well, it turns out it was a scholastic art book. So I looked through the book, couldn't find anything in it. So I got puzzled. So the child who complained, I told him to come to my desk and show me the bad picture. Well, if you look further back in the book, it was an artist's rendition on how to draw breasts for women. So it was like a little U and a dot. That was the nasty picture.
to ask you a question. I want to get back to something that Professor Fred and Dr. Chadwell had asked. Fred had asked about the computers in the library,
Oh, yeah.
and Dr. Chadwell asked about gentrification. My question is how much is the community or how much is the administration from a city council or wherever it might be? How are they looking at you? Can you tell the uptick of individuals who are using computers? Can you tell the difference between what you used to do and what you're doing now? And is anybody concerned about that? We're looking at a community now that is being deprived sometimes of having that technology. Okay. But we need the libraries or somebody like you to be able to tell us that, yes, it is, to confirm that there is a deficient amount of availability of internet or whatever it might be in the community.
We have everything people want. Look, I can just start right there. We have everything people want. Whatever you need, because we know the need. There is a need. Information technology is not a luxury. People need it. That's how we conduct in business. You search for jobs. You handle your business. You got to have it now. You need services. They don't want, sometimes they don't even want to see you. They want it to be done through technology, through electronically. So we are equipped to handle the needs of people. Even in the case of disaster, we will welcome in people who have been relocated to come. Libraries are equipped to handle the information needs of people.
Well, let me
we
say
want to get that. Let's just get that out there.
Let me say this
Thank you for that question.
Let me say this in a different way. When I look at the Carver Library, it looks like it's operating almost to capacity. Yet and still, I don't see any people from the community, whether it be Black community leaders or whether it be the majority city or county people, looking at the library and saying, hey, we need to increase the size because the need, the computer need, the book needs, whatever it might be, is increasing at that library. Nobody seems to be taking that into account.
One thing that people can do, the library is completely transparent, and you have to be. You're taking public money and city government. Everything that happens with the city government, it belongs to everybody. So we can't do anything, hide anything. We don't want to. People are invited to attend, and we'll post the board meetings as they're about to happen. I think there'll be a board meeting next week, so people can come. They can ask questions. They can listen to the discussions about what those needs are. So I invite people to call San Antonio Public Library. I know that this show is going out in many places. Call your library. Find out when the board will be meeting, so you can find out those things. Sometimes the press releases will go out. Sometimes things are going to go out, be announced in the library board meeting. You can ask meetings. You can be put on the agenda to find out what's going on in your neighborhood library, or just come in and ask, because there is nothing. There is nothing to hide. Now, I'm going to tell you something that's going to happen with your Carver Branch Library. We are very fortunate that the library is going to double in size, which will also mean more computers and things like that. We're holding our own right now. We seem to be, because if we weren't holding our own, the public would let us know. You could, at any time, you could walk into any library and you can ask your librarian, I have an issue with this, and our job, and we're happy to do it, is to address that concern with you. So yeah, we're watching the trends, we're doing the surveys. Last year we did block walking because we wanted to find out how people were using the library. What did they want to know? What did they like about the library? What were we doing different, or that we could be doing different? So yeah, we really want to hear from people. Our councilman comes in and holds information sessions one-on-one with people from the community. He'll come to Carver and do that. Mr. McKee, Jalen McKee, very supportive. We have a very supportive library director of San Antonio Public Library. So yeah, We want people to ask more questions like that. Because this is your library. And if you do ask those questions, we know that you're engaged. You are concerned about yourself and you're concerned about the people that live around you. You want to see people thriving. And we owe that to the people of San Antonio. We can't just take your tax dollars. We got to give y'all something back.
The library was
way
a
it is.
very important aspect of my life growing up. We, in our community, it was a totally black community, and we basically had like a black Carver library in our area. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. So from school, very early age, we were taught to go to the library. We were taught to be able to do research in the library. The library was always a friend. Even if you wanted to do homework, whatever it was, you went to the library. I don't see that same commitment. Maybe I'm too far removed from an age standpoint, but I don't see the type of support that we used to give, both from the community as well as through the system.
We have different types of library programming that happen at different times. Come in anytime and I can share you the upcoming things. Because and see, that's very interesting that people say things like that. And I want to be able to address that when they feel like, well, we're not saying this. Well, I'm not going to throw it back on them, but I would say, well, how can we work together to put some of your ideas in action? Because you feel passionately about something and maybe we missed that. We want to engage more with people. So I invite anybody, please come talk to me. But this is also a good time for me to tell you some of the good things we do have. We do listen to the news and we do listen to the public. So when the opportunity for us to partner with the HBCU send-off, when that took place, Caleb was involved in that.
Yeah, right.
We jumped right on it because that was a need that we thought, okay, wait a minute, this is a slam dunk. I mean, this is an event that we can use to support families and to support young people. Because one thing I struggle with, I don't see as many teens in the library as I used to. After COVID, things did change. We did not get those, we did not get that demographic back. And I know they are around because I've seen them getting off the bus in the evening after school. But I'm not a teen librarian. I manage a branch. Oh, I'm sorry. It's hard for me to go up to young people, and it's unseemly for a man to go up to a teen, come to the library. How weird is that? But we do need people to be able to do that, to find out, okay, where are the teenagers? We have this teen center that we have, and I wish we had a visual for it. You would see it, and it does sit empty at times. So I guess I have to ask the public, and I guess I have to ask my colleagues here, how do we reach out to teens? Because I'm interested in how do they get to the library? Do they take the bus? Do they live close enough to the library that they feel like, okay, what is the issue? Because here's something else we need to be thinking about. School libraries, they, in the San Antonio area, they are cutting libraries in the elementaries, at the elementary level and at the middle school level. Okay, that's not good. Maybe it's a cost-saving measure, but it's happening. So I'd like to work with, they've lost something. So that makes me want to strive harder to work with those young people. They're not going to get it at school. And if they don't come in the library, and I don't know what's happening to take their place to fill that void. But I do want to talk to people who feel like you, who feel like, well, I don't see this happening. We want to talk about that because we could be missing something.
Okay. With that note, we're going to close. We want to thank you, Dr. Grant.
Well, you can have me back because we didn't talk about Mr. Grumbles and Prudence Curry, a pioneering African-American librarian, along with Miss Regina Andrews of the Harlem Library.
Exactly. Yes. We will have you back, sir. Thank you for coming in.
I'm glad to be
And
here.
we will be right back with you for Hot Topics and these, Mothers for Liberty. We're going to have a good discussion on that. We'll be right back with you.